Hey guys, what's going on? So I want to do another video for you. This is a video that I've been kind of wanting to do for a while now, and I just wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do it. But now I kind of think I figured it out, and this is kind of what I came up with. So in this video, we're going to be talking about bug out bags. I have two in front of you. The one on the right is going to be a bug out bag that I have had for a few years now. And the one on the left is one that I have just kind of recently put together. By showing you the two, basically, I kind of want to show you how things like bug out bags and stuff like that can evolve in prepping. Just kind of where mindsets in my eyes should lie. So with that being said, I'll start with a little backstory. When I first got into prepping, it was about 10 years ago. I was 20 years old, 21 years old, something like that. And basically, I think a lot of people, when they first get into prepping, one of the first things they do is they put together a bug out bag, and in that instance, I was no different. I wanted to put something together and just kind of have it. When I was younger, obviously, I didn't have a whole lot of money, so I kind of just put together a lot of stuff I had lying around the house or that I could buy relatively cheaply. So that's kind of where this bag kind of came together from. There is nothing wrong with this bag. It's just not what I would consider to be my ideal bug out bag now. My skill set was different back then. My needs and wants and things like that are different now. This bag is a good bag. This is a military Alice pack. It has a lot of survival type items in it, but they're not necessarily all the ones that you should have, or if they are, that's not really the ideal version of it, or it's heavy, whatever. I'm not going to go into the full contents of this bag, guys. I just kind of wanted to show you kind of a comparison of the two. If you guys do want to see this bag at some point and see what's in it, let me know. I can show you. But for now, let's get into the new bug out bag. With everything going on with the whole COVID-19 crisis and all that, I kind of started really looking at my preps and stuff like that a lot closer than I had been before. One of the things I really started looking at was my bug out bag. And, for a few years now, I had kind of seen, that there had been a lot of things lacking and stuff in it, but it kind of just really hit me a little bit harder now. So yeah, that being said, this is the bag. This is an Outdoor Products backpack. It's definitely not the most expensive bag out there. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on the actual bag itself. Obviously I wanted something that was quality for the money, but I didn't want to spend a whole lot on a bag because, for the majority of the time, this thing either just sits in my truck or it sits in my closet. It's not getting used every day like my EDC bag, and my other bags, so it didn't really justify spending that kind of money on something that wasn't going to be used. But anyway, this bag was about $40 at Dunham's, and it has all the key things in it that I really wanted in a bag. It has an internal hidden frame that you can actually remove if you want to. It has a place for a bladder. It has the space that I need to fit all of the gear that I need in it. And it has a waist strap and sternum straps on the shoulder straps area here. And this bag actually also has a lifetime warranty. So that's cool, and it also has really good rain protection. So anyway, enough talking, we'll actually start looking at gear now. So we will start with the front pockets that are on the top part of this bag. Right in the front, I have bug spray. The area that I live in is a mix of rural and urban. Obviously, if I was going to be bugging out, I would prefer to be in a rural area versus an urban area. But I have to go through an urban area to get to a rural area, if that makes sense. So, that being said, when I'm out in the woods, I want to be able to, repel bugs and mosquitoes and stuff like that and not get, bit up or, have ticks on you or whatever. So, bug spray. Moving on to this bigger pocket up top here. I have another one of these $25 cheapo inhalers. Obviously, if you're bugging out, you're hiking, you're moving, you're gonna be more prone to have an asthma flare up if you have asthma, like I do. I don't have severe asthma, but every once in a while you can get a flare up, so this is in there. I have my knife in here. This is a Walk by Faith 777. I'm not sure if he actually has a model that he calls these. But these are actually handmade right here in Michigan. These are beautiful knives. It's all fixed blade, good steel. So this is my knife, one of the key tools in this bag. And then of course the leather sheath that it comes in. I also have a Gerber multi-tool. This is one of the older multi-tools. That's just up there as well. Also have a thing of hand sanitizer. Right now, obviously with COVID, it's good to have this stuff, as well as some flu masks. They're just rolled up in a little bag. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them in here. So flu masks. Thing of baby wipes. These things have multiple purposes. If you need to go to the bathroom, wipe your face off, wipe your hands off, whatever. And they're cheap. They're relatively light, and so they serve its purpose. Underneath that, I have my source of fire. I didn't really concentrate too terribly hard on fire for this particular kit, because if I'm bugging out, I don't necessarily want to be seen all the time. I kind of look at bugging out as you're wanting to avoid people and things like that, and fire is a really good way to get noticed or seen. So I'm only going to really make fire if I absolutely need to, whether it's for warmth or food, stuff like that. But anyway, in this fire kit, I have 2 of these Insta-Fire packs. It's basically like really good tinder. It lights up to 4 fires. I have a magnesium fire starter block, and then with a little ferrocerium rod to the side. I do want to get a bigger ferrocerium rod to put in here, so that's one thing that this kit doesn't have that will probably be added. And then I also have 2 just regular old Bic lighters. Going into the bigger pocket. Actually, no, let's do this. Let's do this pocket right here. In this pocket here, I have a large Ziploc bag, and inside of that I have 2 of the contractor bags. They're 5 mil. They're large trash bags. These can be used for shelter, collecting water, something to lay down on the ground, just all kinds of uses for these. We'll go into the other side compartments of this bag. On this side, this is just a basic first aid boo-boo kit. This is one of the cheap ones you can get from Walmart. This kit, when you first buy it, it's kind of lacking a lot of stuff, so I added some things to it, more bandages and stuff like that. But it's, it covers basically all of your boo-boo stuff. It's got a pair of tweezers in here as well. It also has a cheap little rescue whistle and a button compass and, you know, stuff like that. But there's some gauze, bandages, moleskin, stuff like that. Also has some ibuprofen, antibiotic ointment, you know, just the necessities for boo-boo care. In this other side pocket, I do have more medical. This is going to be for treating a little bit more serious wounds. These are just some medical style tourniquets. They're like the rubber band style. I do need to get a couple of cats to throw in here. That's another thing that this bag, I will admit, is lacking. Some of the stuff is just not here yet. I've ordered it, but it's just not here. So I do have some tourniquets in here. This is some gauze. There's a couple trauma bandages in here, some nitrile gloves, a razor blade to cut the gauze with if I need to, and yeah, so that's basically it for treating a little bit more serious injuries. Going into the main compartment of this bag. This is it's a drawstring style at the top, which I like. I don't really want the bag to clamshell open completely on me and then, you know, everything dumps out. I kind of like it just like this, so this is perfect. Right at the top, I have a boonie hat. Helps keep the sun off your face, you know, stuff like that if it's hot out. Just good to have, you know, an extra added layer of like sun protection, stuff like that. I have 2 Mountain House meals. These are chicken and dumplings. I chose these not only because I like these ones, but they also have 17 grams of protein per serving in these. And that was the most that I had found with all the different meals to choose from. So that's why I went with these. But I have 2 of these in there. That gives me 2 meals that I don't have to work hard to get if I'm moving to my bug out location. You know, and I need something to eat, something to, you know, get some energy back in my system, stuff like that. I will have it, and there's 2 servings of this in each bag. So, 2 of those. This bag doesn't really have a lot of like inner little small compartments for organization, so I put a lot of this stuff in small Ziploc bags, which you'll see right now. In this bag I have some CLP and a brush. I don't know if you can see that or not. Cleaning a weapon or tools, whatever. Obviously this is meant to be tiered with your EDC, so you know, in theory I should have my EDC pistol with me, whether it's either my Glock or my SIG, with some spare ammo, but I need to be able to clean that when I'm out in the field, so CLP. This is another one of those Cobra Tech cases that comes with the knives. I have a couple of these, and I have one in my regular EDC bag as well, and they work well for all kinds of different things. Inside of this I have some batteries. These are just batteries for my GPS, my walkie-talkies, and my headlamp, which you'll see in here. So it's all waterproof in this little container. Right here I have a all black Schmog. These things have all kinds of different uses. You can use them as a filter system. You can cover your face with them. You can, you know, I don't know. There's all kinds of uses for these though. So yeah, black Schmog. And wrapped in the Schmog, I have something that I haven't really seen a whole lot of people have in their bug out bags, but something I thought was pretty cool. So these are little dollar solar lights. Got them at Walmart. The mentality behind this is this light that I don't have to use energy for. You know, whether I want to put these in the ground around camp. These are just like, I think they're 2 lumens a piece, so they're not super bright. They're not going to put off a whole bunch of light to where somebody's really going to see me. That way, if I don't want to make a fire and really give away my position or anything like that, I can stick these in the ground and kind of, you know, be able to see around camp or whatever. And I can also unscrew the cap, and these come off like this, so I can lay these on the ground flat underneath my shelter if I need to. Next, I have 6 aluminum tent stakes. They're orange, so you can see them. You don't trip over them. I have a steel cup, a handle on it, so I can boil some water if I need to cook my food. You know, whatever. Then I also have another water container. This is a single-walled water container I can boil water with if I need to. It also has a lid. So that's in there. It also has this neoprene cover on it to help keep it cool if the water's warm. Or whatever, it's an insulation barrier. Another part to my shelter system is I have 100 feet of survivor cord. If you guys haven't seen this yet, this is really cool stuff. Inside this is the standard, I believe it's 5 strands of 550 cord, but there's also a strand of fishing line. There is a strand of wire for snare wire, and then there's also some jute cord that you can use for tinder. So this is really, really good stuff. Like I said, there's 100 feet of it here, so I have plenty of cordage if I need to, and it also has multi-purposes. I can fish with it, you know, snare with it, and use it for cordage, obviously. Another piece to my shelter system is I have 3 carabiners. These are meant to, if I need to quickly attach something to like a tree or something like that, I can wrap it around and just kind of hook it quick. That way if I need to, you know, get stuff, you know, taken down quickly or something like that, or, you know, just lash stuff together, whatever. Anyway, 3 carabiners. This is going to be another piece of my shelter kit. This is a military whoopee. This is an Acme approved one. It's just solid black. I'm sure you guys know what a whoopee is. If you don't, check them out. It's basically a blanket or a poncho liner, and they work awesome. So that's in there. And then next part of my shelter system is going to be a military rain poncho. This is, obviously it's this pattern. It's like a dark camo color. I can use this as a intended poncho, or I can use this as shelter. It has the little eye hooks and stuff in it, or the little, you know, round little loops. So you can tie it off, make a shelter with it, and, you know, cover yourself up with it. So that's in there. Last part of my shelter system is going to be my military bivvy. This is Gore-Tex. It's basically like a really lightweight sleeping bag. You can either stuff this with leaves or something like that and make yourself something to lay on the ground, get yourself up off the ground, or you can actually lay inside this like a sleeping bag, and then, you know, if it's a little bit colder out, you can put that whoopee in there and, you know, be nice and warm. This is Gore-Tex, so it sheds the water really nicely, which is good. I have a spare pair of pants in here. The last thing I want is to be caught bugging out with shorts on or dress pants, something like that. One thing I do need to put in this bag, I will admit that I do not have, is a pair of wool socks. So I will be adding some of those along with a couple of other things, but for now this is what I have. So anyway, spare pair of pants. These are just some regular like work style pants. In this bag, this is kind of a little goodie bag. This has 2 walkie-talkies. That way, if I'm bugging out with another person, we have a means of communication, or I can just turn this on if I need to, you know, see if I can listen in. Maybe somebody else has one. Whatever. Means of communication. I have a little titanium fork and spoon combination right here for eating. I have some dish soap in a small bottle. This comes in handy if you need to clean your dishware or wash your hands, you know, just staying clean all, you know, in general. Another form of I have a form of navigation in the form of a compass in here. This is just a basic style compass. And then another form of navigation that I have is my Garmin 64S. I use this thing a lot when I'm hiking, and it's served me very well. So that's in here. I have a Sawyer Mini with the straw and the syringe for water filtration. Good thing about this is I can actually hook this up to my water bladder that's in here and purify right straight out of the bladder if I need to, or I can stick the straw in something and drink it, you know, through this, whatever. It's just all kind of in there in a nice little package. In this bag I have looks like 5 packs of emergency 1,000 milligrams. It's just, you know, a good source of energy, plus, you know, an immune supportive type drink, you know, helps give you energy, stuff like that. Helps keep your immune system up when you're out there. So that's important. So some of that in there. I have a small pack of fish hooks. This goes hand in hand with the survivor cord. That way I can fish and, you know, gather food after I get where I need to go. You know, like I said, I had the 2 Mountain House meals, but I'm going to need food later on, so I have fish hooks for that. I have a small roll of electrical tape. I probably could have more tape in this kit. I'll probably add some more of that later as well, but right now I just have a small roll of electrical tape. On this little key ring, I have a tick key and a pair of nail clippers. And then I also have a headlamp. Obviously, like I said, this is kind of working in tier with my regular EDC that's on body. But to be able to be hands-free and have light if you're moving around at night or whatever is a really good thing. And the last thing you want to do is trip and fall when you're trying to move at night or something like that because you can't see. So I have this headlamp in there. And then I also have just a spare small backup blade. It's nothing too expensive or crazy. It's just really solid. Had it for a long time, so I threw that in there. And then inside of this bag, I have my TSI water bladder. This is a 3-liter bladder. And then I just have the hose run out. And I actually wrapped it around so you can't necessarily see it as well. And it's tucked into the other side over here. And then I can, if I want to take it out and use it, I can run it down this strap here. And then there's a magnet for the end of it to connect it to. If I can get this out of here, I'll show you. Just run it down. And it just connects to there like that. Alright guys, I think that's pretty much it for this bug out bag. I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys. I'm going to try to keep making more. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe if you guys like what you see. You know, if you see something that you don't see something that you think I need or whatever, you know, let me know. Like I said, there is a couple things that I still do have to add to this. They just haven't gotten here yet. I do want to add a solar charger, another ferro rod, like I said, the wool socks, and some tourniquets for sure. So, you know, I do know there's a couple other things that, you know, that aren't in this bag that I do know that I need to add, but, you know, they're on the way. I want to say, I weighed this bag a little bit ago. I think it weighs in at, I think it's 21 pounds exactly. So I think it's a pretty good weight. I don't think it's too heavy. It's definitely not light, but it's definitely not too heavy, considering I have all of that gear in here. So yeah. Anyway, guys, like I said, like, share, subscribe. You know, leave me comments, whatever. But until next time, over and out.